I guess the first thing we want to know is when you see someone drowning, whether it's in a pool, in a lake, what should you do?
Yeah, and that's a great question because this can happen, as we know, anywhere. The first thing you do is get help, and we have a graphic to help you with all this. You want to get help and also call 911 or have somebody call 911. And then you need to get that person out of the water, and that's where having help can help you, because you might need two people to do. Get them out of the water, roll them over, and start CPR. And even if you don't think you know what you're doing, do the best you can, because that can save a person's life.
And even after you've pulled the person out of the water, there's still an added risk there. There's a risk of something that's called dry drowning. Can you explain that?
Yeah, and dry drowning is actually very rare. It only affects about 1% of people. But actually, dry drowning is someone who may not be struggling. This can happen after they've been out of the water on their own. They may have things like the coughing, they may struggle to breathe, and this can happen down the road. But luckily, this is rare. What happened to Bodie Miller's family is actually just what we call conventional drowning, and the CDC tells us that about 10 people a day die of drowning, and it can happen in around a minute. So it takes no time to have this happen.
And we're going to the summer months where a lot of people are by the pool, they love being by the water. There are chances of people drowning, people getting in the water, not being able to come out. What should we do to make sure that doesn't happen, to prevent all these drownings?
Yeah, and this is a great time to talk about that and review that with people. We have a graphic for this too. And what you want to do here is, if you have a pool or there's any kind of water, fence it off. Always, if you're going to be around water, have life jackets. And if you have children, you have to keep an eye on them. Like I said, this can happen in a minute or two. So watching your kids is very important. I also think it's really important that you have a conversation, even with young toddlers, about stay out of the water. Only go in the water if you have an adult nearby. And maybe teach your kids how to swim or water safety at a very early age. If you know you're going to be on a lake or have a boat or have a swimming pool or have family that have a pool, this is very, very important. But I think taking these precautions can only help you, because unfortunately, especially in the summer months, this is very common.
And it's so important, the swimming lessons you were talking about. There are so many organizations locally that help people train their kids to swim, low cost, YMCA, for example. So no excuse to not let your child learn how to swim. Thank you so much, Dr. Reddy.